going to change now. I'll try to do one. So in today's video, I'm going to fulfill a couple of requests I've got. Predominantly MissGumby ASMR, very fan of, and I've been talking to her a lot through Facebook recently. So, the first request I've had from her is tattoos. A few months ago, I got my first one, and I haven't really shown it on Facebook through my videos. And tattoos were big, like mine, for a couple of years. And I was really enthralled to get my first one back in May. Yeah, it's been a couple of months since I've had it. And the first bit of work I've done is a Celtic cross. And this bit here is the same all round in four parts of it. It's a Celtic knot which is made, goes through 4 loops here, goes into 3 at the top part here. Then the different connections are different all the way around. I really like it and try looking after it the best I can since I had it done. I'm now planning my second one, which is going to be a piece of Polynesian tribal, which, unlike ordinary tribal, has got more patterns inside the solid black bits, and it makes a more intricate tattoo. So that's going to be my second one, and I'll hopefully get that within the next month or two, and I'm really looking forward to that. I want to say thank you to everyone for the major reception I've had. I'm now on 21 subscribers and over 1,000 views of my videos, which I never thought would happen. So thank you again for everyone who's been on my subscribers. So, recently come back from my holiday in Scotland, from camping. The weather was fantastic. There's a couple of days where it was pouring down rain. Typical British weather. I bought myself 3 new t-shirts. One of these had to be done. It's slip. It's the original album artwork t-shirt for the album slip. And I thought I'd wear it because also in this video, the next part is going to be chapter 3 of Quotate 7 Deadly Sins. As you begin to learn Slim, are my favourite band of all time. So much so I've had to go out and buy this. I was in HMV in Edinburgh, which is Scotland's capital city, and I saw this for a reasonable price. And the good thing about this is through this set. So you've got disc 1 here, which is the best of Slipknot. Disc called Antennas to Hell. And you've got CD 2, which is a live album which was released last year, which is Sickness, live at Download 2009. And then you've got disc 3, which is a DVD with all the music videos and little feature videos of all the band members called broadcasts from Hell. And I've listened to the album, it's fantastic. The track listing for the best of Slipknot goes Sick, eyeless. Wait and bleed. Spit it out. Surfacing. People equal shit. Disaster piece. Left behind. My plague. There it comes from life. Purity in life. Pulse of maggots. Duality. Before I forget. Familiar. Sulfur. Psychosocial. Dead memories. The last track of the album. Stuff. Brilliant album. Fantastic range of songs. And then on bonus disc CD, which is Sickness. Because of the listing is Sick, Eyeless, Wait and Bleed, Get This, Before I Forget, Sulfur, The Blister Exists, Dead Memories, Left Behind, Disaster Piece, Familiar, Everything Ends, Psychosocial, Duality, People Equal Shit, Surfacing, I Spit It Out, and that's bonus disc of the album, which is the Icons, and the DVD, which has all the videos, goes through all of his song sequels they've released, which are music videos, including 2 versions of it. You've got the live concert one, and you've got the animated, which is a lot more scary, which has to be shown around summertime. I love the artwork as well. It's cool, because it's carried out so that comes with it, that artwork book, which is done by Sean Carroll, which is Clown from the band, which I really like. Okay, in the next part of the video, I will be reading chapter 3, which is Lust from Corridor the 7 Deadly Sins. Now, I warn you, it is very explicit, swearing and sexual nature, so if you're squeamish, come off the video now. But if you're really interested in that state of Corey Taylor's life story itself as much as I am, keep watching. Okay, carry on where we left off. Okay, in this part of the video I will be reading chapter 3 of Corey Taylor's 7 Deadly Sins. As I said before, this part is sexually explicit. And therefore the very last step, so if you don't like hearing about sex, I'll turn the video off now, I apologise. So carry on where we left off. Chapter 3, Lust Disease. I was beat up in a bath. I was in a beat up bathroom backstage in 1999, and 4 women prepared to piss on me simultaneously. Welcome to the last chapter, kids. Yeah, it really happened, and not because I'm into water sports or anything. It was because when you mix women and booze, sometimes you just want to see how far you can go. We had just played Pittsburgh outdoors in October under a train bridge. Some sort of shady ass promoter. The backstage area is literally boarded up trains with a couch in one and an office desk in the other. So one train was reserved for the dressing room, and the other was sequestered to be the after show area. After a freezing cold show, we all washed ourselves down the best we could and commenced to carouse with people I never knew. I never knew we had so many friends in Pennsylvania. A few too many drinks later, and I had the idea that perhaps the single greatest sociological experiment ever lit upon in the Penn State Shack. So very confident and inebriated, I climbed up onto a chair and posed the question, "Hey, how many girls want to piss on me?" 4 hands raced in unison. A mass exodus wandered to the cracked out bath. I stripped down modestly with the spectators that it was cold, and shrinkage was expected. I paid my drunk ass in a massive tub. The 4 participants positioned themselves over me, ass to back, and this if one cue squatted. It was fucking hilarious. I laughed the entire time. That got everyone laughing. When they were done, I showered off and I was happy when they joined me. Needless to say, this was a silly little spectacle. It quickly turned into a lot of sex, with limbs and mouths and fluids galore. Nothing is boring when you're ready to accept the impossible as a possibility. Lust, my Achilles heel, the crazy monkey on my back, flailing, screaming, and using my hair as a pair of handlebars, steering me toward the edge. It has taken me so far beyond the limit, I could write a book about these exploits alone. It has also taken me years to get it under control, to get it to the point where it does not make me do most of the stupid things that float through the Caligula-esque fantasy land that has been my life. For instance, do you know the problem with threesomes? They are easy to start, but then there is enough room. In 1995, I moved to Denver, Colorado for a few months. It was a fairly big deal for my friends. I was moving there to get my music going because in my head, bigger city meant bigger musical gene pool, and the bigger, better opportunities. It was the only thing I was good at, and the only thing I wanted to do with my life. So ironically, I quit Stone Sour, packed my things into 4 big duffel bags, and prepared to blast off for the Mile City. I already had a ride with my ex-girlfriend plotted, and a little light bomb for but I needed a singer-songwriter ready for the big time. But my friends were not about to send me a big fucking party. So the night before I left, we converged on the house on the east side of the mall and proceeded to drink ourselves in. We had gallons of cheap ass hooch on the house full of madness. Noxious inkers like Southern Comfort and Mad Dog 2020 flew around in the face of common sense and good manners. So it slopped all over the mixing rooms and floors. There were only so many rooms available to hang out in, so a lot of us were wound up hanging on the street, singing songs to the moon and making peace with the mutual past we might have in common. To them, I was never going back, and was just glad to be with my friends one more night. And trust me, once sex was the last thing on my mind. 2 hours later, I was engaged in a threesome across the street in the parking lot of the church, in the front seat of a Monte Carlo. One girl bent over the floor of the passenger seat. Another was leaned all the way back in the driver's seat, letting the holiest of holies get devoured by the girl I just so happened to be inside. Just slowly became a complex pretzel of thrust and sucking in juices and orgasms. I felt like I was being overwhelmed by smells and tastes until I realised it was the gas fumes. I was being poisoned with a wonderful menage a trois, and I was living for it. I was cramped as hell, but it was one of the all-time hottest adventures I have ever found myself embroiled in. You could not tell my life has, quite frankly, been one giant fuckfest. One thing is for certain, I have never had trouble with women, and if I have, one fatal flaw is that there's always been the loudest angel on my shoulder. I lost my grip and my virginity when I was 11 years old to a very giving and fucked up babysitter, and it has been since. the line of lying sulphide in my stone cold resolve. Ever since I saw, and came again. What can I say? It is the strangest life ever, but is only one I have got. The only one I want, and the only one I'll ever need. It made me have sex outdoors as many times as it, and has made me sleep with wives, girlfriends, and mothers of people that I've known. No. It has put me in situations in which being discovered by one experience is less than wonderful. It has bent me into delicious world better part of 36 years. It is the ripper of stalking my sexual Whitechapel, slicing and dicing through my qualms and morals, and with the exception of freeing of Bender 5 years ago, I have no regrets about the QED. Regrets. No regrets, no sin. There are some things I wish I'd never done. There are certain people I wish I never hadn't seen naked, let alone done hunker chunker with. There was a woman I slept with on my 20th birthday in Poughkeepsie, New York. That was misshapen, missing teeth, and wearing blue spandex pants. I am trying desperately to forget. Nature has a habit to twist some erratic genes get through. Fuck. Oh, where was I? Oh yeah. All have a troll under a few burnt bridges. But that one not it. But that one might cool. That cool bad decisions. I like to call whittling down my way of taste. In other words, when you are shelling beans, you throw away the ones that might be sick. You feel me? In our DNA, there is a built-in compulsion to breed, procreate, spreading ourselves as far as we can. The fact that it feels good is just nature as far as I'm concerned. Between the golden ratio of pheromones, it is a wonder more people are not in the streets. So between instinct and free will, we get screwed. Excuse the pun. Man, woman, gay or straight, our intricacies of sex are major driving forces in our lives. Besides, a lot of our advancement is due to wanting to get laid. Think about it. How many minuscule moments in history have been chalked up just wanting to be noticed by some sexy peeps? Napoleon's victories in the Trojan War, rock and roll, peanut butter, M&Ms. Well, that last one I cannot back up, but I'm totally right on the others. Men and women have spent generations preening the like neophyte peacocks in order to press flesh and get along the way, managed to achieve so much. Who would have thought lust would carry us into the future? It makes you look at Star Trek like a whole new way home. Huh? You think of Bill Gates, got any play about genius and a stake in Microsoft? Here is a thought. Do you think Bill Gates can get an erection without crashing? Can he find a woman's JJ only to have that sexual window close on him? If he gets pop-ups, how many viruses can come with him? Man, what the fuck am I talking? Who cares why we want to rub on yummies? The fact is, what that would do, and calling it a sin is asinine at best. Why are people so ashamed of being human? Why do people attach terrible stigmas to instinctual behaviour? Why you would think lust would be the human drive that almost guaranteed to get out for a jail-free card. Seeing as any person with junk in their trunk and nothing good on cable likes to shoot sticky DNA on the carpets. Yes, ladies, I know that is that's how you work, but guess in the bath, light some candles and think of a jail butler. Then, God knows I do. Lust gets the scarlet letter because lust begets dark compulsion. Then it is twisted by environmental agitation, brutal upbringings, disgusting mother figures, monstrous father figures, molestation. There is a heinous gamut of psychosis out there that can wrench something that is supposed to be joy and turn into the deadly weapon. Murderers speak of bloodlust. No wonder there are so people get uncomfortable when they hear about real lust. But here is the thing: people do not want to hear about it. But this is what I think. Everything I've just described is not lust. These are products or histories that lead to mental health issues. It is not even close to a real thing. And here is what: lust can only be felt and realized by strong minds. It is not meant to be empowering so people can embrace and enjoy it. Everything else is camouflage for puritanical denial. Nothing makes people feel guilty more than tying implied darkness to sex, the inevitable lust. However, if you do math, rape is not about lust, it is about hate, control, and sickening rage. Sorry. Molestation is not about lust, it's about the generational abuse and broken sense of self. Murder is not about lust. It is one of the real sins I will address later. Real lust is a celebration of the sexual self, a whole other side of yourself that comes to life in the right circumstances. It is letting yourself go, trusting that the other person is there with you. The real lust gets your blood going. It gets everything going. Really, in short, lust should always be accompanied by a good fucking. I know this is kind of crude of me to say, but man, I have got to tell you some of the best times in my life have been spent naked and sweaty. Not counting those times I was in the sauna in Greece, the very before time. It was one giant blanket ultimately, with excess and access abound. I can thank lust for introducing me to the beauties of oral sex, and both giving and receiving. Because of lust, I am now known about a position called the Hawaiian monkey fuck, which is a techno-like position that requires total concentration and the ability to be as limber as a cat. It is daunting and extremely gratifying if you can keep from cramping. It is hard to keep your legs and back like that, so my advice is to stretch out prior to this endeavour. Much like wrath, the shit that comes with people's mouths when they are in the throes of lust is equally stupendous, but in a hilarious sort of way. There is nothing like hearing "I hate you, fuck me." I have heard things that have made me laugh so hard in case it has started fights mid-coitus, resulting in departure in the case of blue balls. Women who fart when they are gripped by multiple orgasms. Women who squirt when they come. Man, I cannot help it. When something is funny, I guffle with the best of them. It is not to say I have come out unscathed. I have scars that have their own little hellish tears. I have drunken visions of going to bed with one girl and waking up with another. They started out as the same girl. I looked incredibly different and better in the dark. We have all had that experience of coming out of a whiskey drenched slumber, and all of a sudden your house is fucking haunted. And why do they always want to make you breakfast? I cast you out, unclean spirit. Where the hell is Max von Sydow when you need him? Instead of diving diving hip deep, no pun intended, into the usual suspects. I want to talk about something I find hysterical. The times when we feel anything but lustful and sexy. For instance, there is nothing less sensual than trying to look suave when you know you have to take a shit. I do not care who you are. You could be Brad Pitt or Chrissy Freddy. No one can find the stones to make a move when a torpedo tube number 1 is flooded and ready to launch. If you smell what I am shoveling, the pressure alone is enough to wilt the strongest boner right to the hilt. And if you are feeling unfresh, good luck with your game. This is more than a woman problem, really. Guys could smell like hot garbage and still be ready to go. Casanova on the opposite sex. Women are a little bit more discriminating than again. Women have much better taste. That is really the issue, right? Right? Men and women have very different triggers when it comes to lust. Most men are basically downwards in search for the next piece of wood for the insertion. Women are multi-dimensional sexual beings. They are susceptible to attraction on so many dynamics, but you never know what that is. It is going to float their boat, hopefully allowing you to put the motor to the said boat, where men only live a few seconds and a cocktail. No pun intended. Again, no pun intended. To be ready for the hot jungle sex, women usually need time, talk, and a good whiff of the intellectual pheromones. I know some women are just chauvinistic. Swathin's stick, as I do, but I am merely making a point. Men and women handle lust in different ways. So here is my question. Why the hell does God have against fucking? We have just established that people do have the sexy time so in many ways. If the clergy at the Holy Handbook completely merit that, I'd like to personally pursue the chapters and get a grip on the codex bearing like a pie chart. Is there a graph with graduated states for household? Do the sins themselves graduate to misdemeanors or felonies? Are there subsections on certain sins in which penance is more lenient, say penal penalties regarding sex in public, or opposed to sex with marital regard? My final question is easy. If there is a secret manual, where do we ever get to see it? They leave us to our own devices to distinguish between sexual rights and wrong, with nothing more recrimination. How does it feel to be left hanging with guesswork and assumption when it comes down to your immortal soul? This is why I am calling holy horseshit. There is no book, there is no script, there is no godly guideline. There is nothing more than a personal opinion of those who are quite convinced that they are closer to God and therefore more important and smarter than we are. What an impossibly fucked up attitude. They stand on high and think they are infinitely better than we are. Well, the last time I checked, none of my friends or family were guilty of child molestation. In fact, in my opinion, children are more in danger of being abused in the church than anywhere else. The church cannot handle their own lustful ways, so how dare they question us? Again, don't get me wrong, I am talking about regular old-fashioned lust here. I'm not making an argument for people who tried to disguise to them sex and abuse against children, rape, or anything else. That is not between consenting adults. As far as I'm concerned, there is no difference whatsoever between a rapist and or between a repeat rapist and NAMBLA member. That is not lust, it is a sickness. These people are nothing more than monsters among us, looking for another victim to terrorise in an effort to alleviate their own pain. They can talk all they want and hopefully choke on every word. My fight is those who take away pleasure that the majority of us love to experience. And now, back to the faithfully. In terms of lust, all of the sins on the soul radar is it the most physical of all of them? Sure, one can say that the path makes people want to say bricks to the head, but is it the way more emotional in theory? Lust can be felt, but it is the episode 1 chooses to get involved in that really silly deal. Religious folk will claim that unfulfilled lust is sin, but that is a cop-out designed to control how you think and feel. To me, lust becomes sin in copulation. I may not be an expert, but I have definitely had sex in healthy circumstances. Sex is not a crime, so why is lust a sin? I was living in Denver, enjoying the fruits of bachelorhood, when I found myself in what Papa would have called a delicate situation. You see, there are 2 women I was involved with for anonymity's sake, and make sure I do not get sued and lose $10 I make on this book. We will call them Kate and Penny. They were both very different, very strong-willed women who I enjoyed many sweaty nights with, but I do not want to spoil the ending. Let me give you some background. I was one of several people living in a 2-bedroom flat in Lakewood, in Colorado, just outside of Denver, off 6th Avenue. I was doing a time at a video distribution company. Loads of reels or pancakes of blank film onto machines. The machines would be then programmed to fill the empty video cassettes with the appropriate amount of blank tape, so they could then be mass duplicated for redistribution. That's how long this was, with the heavens, those heathens that still use VHS tapes. As long as you can imagine, if the job is innocuous as it is any wonder, I tried to find any excuse or opportunity least like coyote on there. I spent a lot of nights out on the town drinking my dirty little cares away and doing things that I would make Marquis de Sade look like a dinosaur. Words to the wise, sex and a snowdrift is not at all worth it. Anyway, I ran with a fun-loving bunch of lunatics, and these 2 girls were part of that group, fringe players, in our cabaret of chaos. Kay was from the south, a blonde-haired, blue-eyed, curly vixen with a day job and a night school, who could turn any little phrase into something salacious with the slightest flick of her accent, tinged tongue. She was dirty too. We had sex on floors. Then we did it in beds. We had sex on more floors than we did in beds. I do not know how women can deal with that carpet burn sometimes. I am a wuss when it comes to chafing. Penny, however, was a redhead through and through, and the hottest nut job I had ever had the pleasure of bedding. Her eyes light up before her anger got the best of her, so you knew instantly you pissed her off. Her body was delicious, and her voice was was a razor blade. It could cut across the crowded room at a party full of auctioneers. Sex at her place was a bit weird, seeing her as she slept on an air mattress next to an open window. Honestly, now that is what. Now that I think about it, I'm fairly certain I have only had sex in the bed like 4 times during the tenure in Denver. It was almost exclusively on the ground floor of all the aforementioned snowdrift, and the floor of tires in cars. God damn those bucket seats. I believe I was very upfront with both women regarding my intentions. As a bachelor, read as I made it very clear I was not looking for a relationship. I was very much into being my own man. Whatever the hell that means. To me it meant really what it meant. I really want to sleep with you, but I will not be tied down. Some men will lie about what they want, others will be forthright in their sexual needs. I was the latter. I wanted fun and nothing more. Unfortunately, most women would hear the truth and shoot it through the marriage prison. Well, saying he wants no relationship means he does not want the right one right now. Women, you have to stop doing that. If a man wants a relationship, he will more likely tell you. If he does not, never sprinkle pixie dust on his journey and try to build a house out of clay. Take it for what it is. If it might change, but you are guaranteed to fail if you push a man too far. This is exactly what Kate and Penny both did. Pressure was coming from both sides. Drinking and laughing was being interrupted, and serious tense were appearing on both performance vehicle. That was my sex life. I was starting to feel like some kind of gigolo ping pong ball, and the sex was just amazing. They were fucking me like trying to qualify for the Olympics. I hate to say I was loving it, but holy hamster shit, I was totally loving it. The gloves were off and we were running for the finish line. Win, place or quit. It was about to get weird. At a birthday party, it finally did. My friend's code name, Mr. Nichols, was throwing a party for me, his former girlfriend's birthday. At their apartment, booze was flowing and everyone seemed to be having a wonderful time. I was having a banner night. Running from room to room joking about this or that, but slowly and surely, darkness spread across the festivities. I could not put my finger on it, but a presence was lurking just off the scopes, forced to be threatened to destroy the merriment with zero remorse and zero mercy. At this point in the movie, you would have believed the director to push focus, run the hallway of the apartment, POV style, and present the viewer with a shocking vision of Kate and Penny comparing notes on the exploits with yours truly. To me, it was not that big a deal. Neither one of them was my girlfriend, but as it turned out, they both considered themselves exclusive. So the shadow cabinets hid my prime minister so right. At the peak of my sweeper, the two of them marched into the bedroom after holding court and confronted me with their grievances. I am fairly certain I did not make matters any better by applying a reason and nonplussed attitude to this fairly fiery affair with a simple retort, and this set off a series of spectacular female assaults aimed at my person and my person's person that eventually led me stumbling drunken to my feet and muttering, "Well, I ain't break, I'm taking it. At least I hope." That is what I said. At the time I couldn't really feel my mouth. I wandered out into the kitchen. I was separated from the living room by a single 7x10 wall. which was around that, just around that was the front door to the establishment, which opened simultaneously to the kitchen and front room. As I was headed toward the sweet freedom, the birthday girl asked me in her own tipsy, slow voice because I assumed it would not be a problem. I said for a walk in my head. For some reason, she took this as the worst idea that had ever hit her eardrums and went into an inebriated mind. So, being a big girl and easily outweighing me £20, she grabbed my arm and stopped my hasty retreat, not realising her own strength, having no control at all because she was bombed. She half pulled and half threw me back into the kitchen. I was flung around like a rag doll, and because my equilibrium was shot, I slipped, I fell, and landed hard against the lower cupboards in the kitchen. My right elbow came down painfully on the 70s plastic or metal handle of one of the cupboards, and it pierced the skin, drawing blood, bone, and whatever else makes up an arm. With blood pouring down my forearm, the birthday girl tried desperately to rinse the wound. Then, just as desperately, she convinced me to stick a band-aid on it. Luckily, the commotion had raised the curiosity of the other partygoers. I was hastily rushed out of the door into the waiting back seat to be whisked away to the nearest hospital. Because I was drunk, I could barely feel the pain, even with my elbow bones sticking out. Unfortunately, because I was drunk, I passed out in the back seat of the car. I must have been on the verge of lighting a cigarette, because when I came to, I had a broken mouth or red in my mouth. I regained consciousness in the emergency room, face down, and the broken smoke dangling from my dry lips, and sound of Kate and Penny arguing over the top of my body still. Am I still blue? Neither get to keep me. However, the tables had turned. Now they were trying to force me off on the other. Use your mess, you can have him. If it's good, then you can have him. So as I lay there for another hour waiting for the doctor to come in, they have another hour while the doctor sewed up my arm. The vocal equivalent of Federer Nadal volleyed over my entire time. I was in hospital and continued the whole ride home until, even as I said, all the 24-hour grocery stores were whistling to put my arm in. I had 21 stitches in all because I could not use my. I lost my job because I lost my job, and I ended up leaving Denver because I left Denver. I ended up putting stones out back together, which led to my additional slip knot. Because back together, which led to my additional slip knot and other fine things. So fans around the world will take note. If not for my lust and truthfulness, would not have been able to become a single Slipknot, nor would I have been able to put the stones out back together. Hence there would be no snuff or fruit glass. And it was because of my lust, the circular wound on my elbow, J.J. Abrams could have never come up with a storyline like this. The flames of lust do incredible things. They burn to the bone and heal into different skin configurations. They drive us out of our comfort zones and into the arms of destiny. They desolate our landscapes and show us the complexities of relationships. They also convince us to make out with an old guitar player on the movie when they are so trashed we did not know who was in front of us. I tell you one thing, that guy had a giant tongue. It made me puke. True story. So I guess most of my adult life has been a road trip on the in and out highway. Yes, I'm guilty of a deadly sin, and you know me. I am not saying I am or not. My sin would be lust, but it does stand treason. But if lust were a true sin, then it should have never been made to feel so damn good? Why is sex our flesh-like version of chocolate? Why do we get caught in the nets when they feel like heaven and taste even better in the words? What the fuck, man? Enough words, what the fuck, man? I still maintain that it comes down to how comfortable people are with their own sexuality. The status quo has gone to great lengths to make sure the taboo is in the tablet. I mean, up until the 1960s, homosexuality was regarded as a fucking mental illness. Is that a big enough control issue for you? In those in favour choose to make people who were confused enough to feel as if like they were fucking crazy. Can you imagine having to go through shock therapy all because you want to sleep with whomever you wanted or were attracted to? It is so hard for the gay and lesbian community to trust it. We had to go and try and fuck with their minds, so I do not blame them in the slightest. Anyone who feels like that homosexuality is not the only sin, but only a disease or a mental issue should take a look in the mirror and realise who the real crazy person is. Of all the gay and lesbian people I have ever known, there is truly been one crazy candidate, and believe me, he was truly crazy. He was convinced he had wings under his skin. Now I am not one to judge, but that shit is fucking crazy to me. But he was crazy because he thought he was some kind of Faganarian warrior, not because he knew who he was attracted to, but there was a subtext of judgment in that is hypocritical and openly selfish. If people spent more time minding their own business and less time in other people's business, the world would be having a much bigger party. These are the same people who believe gay marriage is a constitutionally protected right. I bet houses of their unions have more skeletons in their closets than brooms. My blood is starting to boil, but I should be careful. This is not the wrath chapter. It is still love. It is all things lust. All the time on this serious channel, lust is such a fun thing too. It is a real shame that people cannot relish it for what it is. Lust is a doorway to the very heart of our heart. Lust and sex are celebrated by many cultures, as the tapping we hear on the doors of our heads. IDs, mating rituals. IDs. Mating rituals have been part of us since we plugged our first caveman. There are nuisances and delicacies that we can still learn from our inner pervert. When we all turn a blind eye and non-pelvis towards the spiritual horizons, we never get to see our sun's peak. That is a motherfucking shame. Rest assured that nothing will be accomplished in the war of the laws, even if they were to legislate monogamous missionaries by penalty of law. As we free-thinking, rebellious folk would find a way to get around it. Lawmaking, Judaist churches, and Christos, as I am fond to call them, the uber religious, will do their damnedest to stick their heads into a unanimous asses to see where our ship has been. But we, the few and the proud and the horny, will beat them back with the speed of the wits and the strength of our sexual resolve. This is not only the freedom we should all have, but we should all have to enjoy. The good fight starts when the bad shit happens, so bring it on, and the world is waiting. Almost at the end now. Got about 5 more pages of this chapter. One brutal byproduct comes from hereditary loss, and it involves panic, hysterics, and peeing on blue sticks. That is absolutely correct, Harry. I am talking about babies. For those of you not in the know, babies are tiny humans who cannot feed themselves, change their own diapers, or drive themselves to the gas station. For those of you like myself who are too familiar with the concept of young ones, we are very aware that babies are loud, insane creatures who barely walk and never talk. By crying continuously until they're distracted, coming as that does from afar, but please make no mistake, I love my children, but holy shit, when they will drive you to drink more. This goes hand in hand with Lust in General, the good book, and by that I mean the joy of sex. It tells us go forth and procreate, so lust is the lube for our childbearing gears, the gas in our engine, so to speak. It is part of our genetic unconscious to speak, spread our seeds across the lust-filled landscape. A postcard of fleshy reminders that we were here. Orgasms were affectionately along. Orgasms were affectionately along the wonderful ride. Thank God for that. If we all got out of sex were children, migraines, humanity would have phased out genitalia centuries ago, along with pinky toes and the snot tunnel that makes phlegm from your nose directly into your mouth. I will never understand that piece of other anatomy. When did the necessary get lumped into with the ne'er-do-wells of our sinful never can tales? Who put the sodium in Gomorrah? Well, our ancestors just so fucked up. Or our ancestors so fucked up that they crossed lines, even ignorant, undeveloped ancient fuckers found distasteful. I mean, did ye old lust lead to sticking cock into mountains where people chasing ground frogs? Was mud being plunged into with romantic fervor? These are things the Bible conspicuously leaves out. I bet you were a handful of chilies coupons that Jesus had a foot fetish. People were just inherently weird, man. I've got to be honest, I have sucked my fair share of toast myself, and it is some of the sexiest shit on the planet. Damn, I might have to take a break and work out something and get my drift. That reminds me, I do know what the Catholics have against masturbation, but if there were a way to levy complaints in their heads, it would do this in an instance. What the Catholics and Christians call a sin, oneself, the great Woody Allen called sex with the one you love, masturbation, a rented movie, beat than a shitty conversation with a bad blind date, in bed a week. Quote me on that. A little push, a little pull, a lot of imagination can. A little push, a little pull. And a lot of imagination can be just what the doctor ordered after a hard day. Let's face it. Sex sometimes requires talking. For guys, sometimes, quite frankly, we just need to tap the sexual pulse, pull up camels, or porn, or RedTube, or Pornhub. were a plethora of worldly websites that offer visual horizons and recreations. Then get a handle on yourself and fall asleep watching forensic files. Besides, I would never listen to people spend too much time in wooden booths listening to people secrets all day. The days of feeling humiliated about normal sexual escapades should be behind us all. Sadly, there are many morons who still equate sex with hateful things like rape and molestation. Small people have small minds cluttered with small ideas, and it's a shame that so many of them have giant reaches into huge pockets. If I would never have control of my sexy bits to a falcon with epilepsy, then what would I have expected to do so with strangers who have no clue about pleasure? I feel like I'm going fucking nuts here. And when I go fucking nuts, I have a tendency to break my lucky Guinness glasses. Damn it, guys. I only have those things left. Sentient beings with intelligence and morals should be allowed to put their pieces in whatever reason they want, whether they are gay or straight. The stigmas of the past should be eradicated. The powers that be should be the powers of free. Brothers and sisters, the twilight of our sexual revolution is going to give away the dawn of our lusty victories. We can all lead the march through the streets of every major city of the greatest country in the world and proclaiming our private property. No one gets away with murdering our right of coitus. No one gets away with controlling how we feel about how we feel. The right to bare asses ends up there licking the whole body off the tits of someone called Big Mama. America puts the cunt in country. Damn it. We are fucking alive in here. I'm a big fan of pizza. With ranch dressing handy for dipping, and I had no other reason for writing this than to lighten them a bit before you pull your panties off. Do you feel me? Yeah, that is my hand on your thigh, and my lips in your ear. Besides, does anyone like having a tongue in the ear? It is a cane where I'm trying to take over your head. This is just gross. I would rather have the raccoon's dick shoved into my navy than have the tongue stuffed into either one of my ears. Now, nibbling is a different story. Just give me some tiny bites of any part of me, and I am rendered harder than the mahogany in the Arctic Circle. I think I'm going to drag my wife upstairs and put something against her. I mean it. She has a lint on the sweater and she is the sticky brush. It's on the counter in our bathroom. That, what did you think I was talking about? You guys are fucking perverts. Man, get your head out of the way. Get your head out of the gutter. That's my wife you're thinking about. God, my wife is hot. I have had sex with porn stars and rock stars. I've had sex with friends and strangers, with beauty queens, and stuff in wet dreams. I have fucked wolves and hags. I have done so much that it is damn near impossible to put a finger on it. Just where my own unique kink comes from sometimes, but one is certain. If it were not for love, half my stories would not. Okay. Sorry. What for last my little soirees wouldn't be nothing more than campfire silence designed to lull you to sleep. Maybe not all of them, but most of these stories would be anyway. For the last 35 years, Lust has been my co-pilot. I've never been its captain. We have all gone down the engine together. I do not think I am the most mysteries or science behind our sexual drives, or the weakness. I am just a guy trying to make you feel better about having sex in the first place. The stains of the past can wash off with enough time and effort. The power is truly in our hands, from soups to nuts, from hello to the afterglow, from dinner to the proof. Percoteous cigarette. Every decision, every move you make, every vibe you gauge is free, will burn you. You can dodge the bullet at any time or bury it with the closely bone. Although sex feels great when it's dirty, it should never feel evil or for that matter deadly. When we all live with lust in our hearts, the passionate pulse of being alive, and nothing the authorities say will do anything to make us become eunuchs. So for all you uptight no hard on motherfuckers who are just hanging around the sandbox waiting for the first opportunity to kick dirt in our beds, how about you go ahead and stick your head in deep in that very sand? The world is a little bit easier to cope with after a good bout of who tied me up. And when I can keep from flying the depths of my memories, I can have a strong 6 second orgasm. I'm begging for those of you who just do not get it, or more appropriately, do not get it enough to lay off. Better yet, get laid and get off. If you could view the world through blue line glasses, you would see most of us are just having fun, just kicking the mud off our bodies and spirits. It is fucking jungle out there, man. But thank Pete, if we all came equipped with the great stress killing mechanism that hopefully never disappoints and never dies down, never gets old and never needs to say it out. Lust is lust a sin? In my professional opinion, lust is not a sin at all. But I will say this, sometimes it feels even better when you pretend it is one. Okay, that's the end of the video today, and the next chapter is Vanity. So that'll be up in the next update, so I hope you enjoy this video. I'm Darwin Whispers, and I'll see you soon.